Hi all, this is the first lesson from our next new chapter on logarithms, okay, which sounds a lot scarier than it really is. I know you don't have your notes packet in front of you. This will be your first page in your notes packet when you receive it tomorrow. But for today, I would like you to just take out a sheet of paper and just write down, I'm really just doing kind of this little set of information right here. And then I'm going to do a couple of examples from down below. So if you just copy those things down, I will be checking that in class tomorrow for points. Okay? So what is a logarithm? A logarithm is another form of an exponential equation or an exponential function. So we've been talking about exponential functions for the first half of this chapter. Logarithms are just a way to rewrite those functions, and there's a reason that we rewrite them. The problem is, remember when we talked about this situation, if we had like 3 to the x equals, 100. And I asked you, how could you solve for that exponent? Well, you can't. There's not an easy way to take that x out of the exponent. A logarithm pulls the x out of the exponent and makes it so that you can work with it. Okay, so why is it useful? It's useful because it lets you take the x out of the exponent, or take the variable out of the exponent, and do some math with it. So there I've written in what I just said to you. It allows us to take the variable out of the exponent. If you need to pause at this point to copy down those couple of notes, you're welcome to. Let's talk about what a log looks like. This is what a logarithm looks like. You're going to have log, this is shorthand for logarithm, with a base called b of a is equal to x. This is going to make more sense once we start putting some numbers in here. But this form right here is just a rewrite of this. Okay, that b value would become like the base. That's why we call it a base. What a logarithm is equal to over here, that becomes your exponent, and then what the answer is, that's this number here, okay? So log base b of a is equal to x is another way of writing b to the power of x is equal to a. So really all you're doing right now is practicing with moving those numbers around and putting them in the right positions. Okay, let's do just a couple of examples of that. So I would encourage you to write down these examples. Let's take a look at that first one. It says rewrite each equation in exponential form. I have log base 6 of 36 is equal to 2. So I would rewrite that starting with the base. I would say 6 to the power of 2 is equal to 36. So 6 to the power of 2 is equal to 36. That's how you would rewrite that as an exponent. Let's take a look at number 2, because I know fractions freak you out. Still, I'm starting with the base, so I would say 289 to the power of this. Remember, the answer to a log is always an exponent. So 289 to the power of 1/2 is equal to 17. Okay, so it's just a matter of rearranging the numbers. Okay, let's try a couple of the ones down here where you're going the other way, where I give you an exponent, I give you something that's been written in exponential form, and I ask you to write it as a log. So for this number, I'm looking at number 6 right now, I would say log. Remember the base of a log, looking back up here, the base of a log is always the number that's being raised to the power. So this right here would be my base, log base 12 of what it's equal to, of 144 is equal to, and remember it's always, the answer is always the exponent. Okay, so log base 12 of 144 is equal to 2 is the same thing as saying 12 to the power of 2 is equal to 144. Let's do maybe number 7. So I would say log base 9 of the answer, okay, so of 1 over 81 is equal to, it's always equal to the exponent. So it's equal to negative 2. Okay? That's really the big takeaway today, is that, I'm going to slide back up here to the top where I had this, is that a log written this way is just another way to write this expression. And I want you to get used to where these numbers go when you rewrite them as exponents. Okay? We'll talk about that more in class tomorrow. What I would like you to do at the bottom of your paper, just to make sure, just as a way for me to check and see who watched this all the way through. Whoops, sorry about that. I got interrupted. Anyway, what I was saying is somewhere on your paper, so I can see who watched this through all the way to the end, just draw me a smiley face. Don't care where, but somewhere on your paper, draw me a smiley face. And I will know that you watched this video all the way through for your points tomorrow. All right, thanks a lot. We'll have some assignments that have to do with this topic tomorrow. All right, so whoops.